Some men might seem confident around older women. They might enjoy each other's company, go on dates, or even fall in love. But under that surface, there are three quiet fears many men carry. They won't say it directly. They'll joke about it or brush it off. But deep inside, it's real for them. Today, we're pulling back the curtain, because older women deserve to know what's really going on in many men's minds and why this truth actually shows their strength. Let's face it, men may not say out loud, but they often feel a quiet fear around strong older women. Most people think men only fear being rejected or getting too serious too fast. But there's something different about older women. Time doesn't take away from their beauty. In fact, it often makes them more powerful. Older women carry life experience. They've lived more, felt more, and usually don't play games. And that alone makes a lot of men uneasy. A study in the Journal of Adult Development found that older women often show more emotional awareness and confidence in relationships than younger women. That's amazing for you. But for some men, especially the ones who are used to being in charge or trying to impress, it's a little scary, because when a man faces a woman who knows herself, who doesn't need to be told who she is, who doesn't need outside approval, and who won't stick around for nonsense, it makes him feel exposed. And exposure for many men feels like danger. So what exactly are they afraid of? Let's look at three quiet fears many men carry deep down. She sees through me. That's the biggest one. Many men grow up thinking they must always appear strong, calm, and in control. They're taught that showing fear or doubt makes them look weak. But older women have seen it all. They watch patterns. They recognize warning signs quickly. This shakes men, because with a woman like that, he can't pretend. He can't wear a mask or act like he's got it all figured out. She notices. And once he realizes she can see the parts of himself he tries to hide, even the ones he hides from himself, it shakes him. In a 2021 study by Dr. Laura Green looking at dating between women over 40 and men aged 30 to 50, more than 64% of men said older women made them feel more emotionally open than younger women did. One 42-year-old man said, "With younger women I can steer things, I control the pace, but with older women it's like they're already 10 steps ahead. They see through me. It's like they already know how this will play out." And it's not just a feeling, it's often true. Older women have strong emotional instincts. They read the energy behind words. They notice pauses, tone shifts, small signs. So when a man says one thing but shows another, she catches it. That moment when he realizes he can't hide pushes him into honesty. And while that can build deeper love, it also scares him. Many men are scared of being that open. She doesn't need me. That's another fear. A lot of men grow up believing their value comes from being needed. They want to be the hero, the provider, the guy who saves the day. But older women often already have their careers, their money, their routines, and their own peace. They aren't waiting for someone to fix things. They're looking for a partner, not a rescuer. And for some men, that's hard. If his sense of worth is based on being needed, then a woman who already feels complete challenges that idea. A 2022 survey by eHarmony found that more than 70% of single men aged 35 to 55 said they were more drawn to younger women because they felt more wanted and relied on. That isn't really about love. It's about feeling important. It's about wanting to matter. But if she doesn't need him to solve her problems or carry her emotionally or financially, then he's left wondering, what's my role here? And that leads to fear. What if she realizes she's better off without me? It's not that older women don't want love. They do. But they want love built on equal ground. Mutual care and deep connection, not neediness. And that kind of love asks a man to show up not with charm or cash, but with heart, truth, and steady energy. And some men simply aren't ready for that. She isn't afraid to walk away. That's the third fear. Younger women are often still figuring themselves out. They might put up with more, forgive more, or stay longer than they should. But older women have been through it. They've left bad relationships. They've rebuilt. They know they can live without a man. And that truth scares men who are used to being in control. Because if he makes a mistake, disrespects her, ghosts her, or plays around, she won't run after him. She'll leave. A 2020 Psychology Today study found that women over 40 were twice as likely to leave relationships that didn't meet their emotional needs compared to women under 30. One therapist in the study said, older women have stronger deal breaker lists. They know what they won't accept and they mean it. That worries men who are used to loose boundaries. When a man realizes he can't gaslight, breadcrumb, or lie without consequences, he either has to grow or run. And many run, because now the balance has shifted. Suddenly he's the one who's replaceable. He knows that if he messes up, she won't wait around. That kind of power is new to many men, and some don't know how to handle it. So here's the twist. These fears of being seen, not being needed, and not having control are exactly what make you powerful. And they are also what filter the right men from the wrong ones. When a man faces those fears, he might pull away, he might try to act more dominant, or if he feels safe enough, he might rise up and meet you. But those fears, they're not really about you. They're about him. They show how he feels about his own emotional maturity, confidence, and worth. You are not scary. You just can't be controlled. You are not hard to love. You simply don't settle for weak love. You are not too much. You are already enough. And that's a lot for men who haven't done their inner work, but for those who have, for those who are growing and open, you are the kind of woman they've been waiting for. Because you don't play, you just show up, and that presence is powerful. Still, until a man reaches that level, he may try to avoid a woman who sees him clearly, doesn't need him, and won't chase him. But that doesn't mean you should change. If you're an older woman and you've noticed men pulling back, acting unsure, or sending mixed signals, it's rarely about your worth. Most times it's about their fear. So what should you do? Don't lower your standards to make him feel better. If your independence or clarity scares him, then he's not the right man for you. Real men are drawn to strength. They don't run from it. Keep trusting your instincts. That ability to spot lies, mixed messages, or empty words is your gift. Don't doubt it just because someone else doesn't feel ready. Emotional wisdom isn't too much. It's your strength. If a man gets nervous about being truly seen, let him be. That's not your job to fix. You're not here to rescue anyone. You're here to meet someone who's already working on himself. You have your own story. You've lived, you've loved, you've hurt, you've grown. And that doesn't make you difficult. It makes you deep. And any man who's scared of that depth isn't ready for your kind of love. But the ones who are will see that strength and feel lucky. Because what many men secretly fear in older women, that they can see through lies, that they don't need saving, and that they'll walk away from games, is exactly what separates women who are done playing small from the rest. And those same fears, they're also your shield. They help you see who's real, who's mature, who's honest. They help you tell the difference between someone who's pretending and someone who's present. So instead of shrinking or changing, use those fears as your filter. Let them lead you towards someone who sees your power as something to celebrate, not avoid. Someone who isn't scared of your fullness, but ready for it. Someone who doesn't try to dim your light, but shows up in his own. Now here's what many don't realize. When a woman reaches a certain age, something powerful happens. She no longer feels the need to prove herself in the way she once did. She becomes more honest, more direct, and more in touch with who she is. That kind of confidence doesn't scream, it whispers. And that whisper, that calm and certain energy is what shakes many men the most. Because men aren't just dealing with a woman, they're facing a mirror. A woman who won't react the way others did. She won't chase, cry, or beg. She'll observe, she'll listen, she'll walk if needed. And when a man sees that, he comes face to face with his own emotional limits. His immaturity, if it's there, becomes obvious, not because she says anything harsh, but because her presence alone reveals the gap between who he is and who he wants to be. It's humbling, and it's rare. That's why so many men aren't used to it. They're used to being the teacher, the guide, the one in control. But here they meet a woman who doesn't need their map, she has her own. That changes the whole dynamic. He can't just impress her, he has to grow with her. And that's where real relationships start to take shape, because while immature men might be intimidated, the right men, men who are awake, feel excited. They see your strength not as something to compete with, but something to stand beside. They don't want to overpower you, they want to build with you. The idea that older women are too strong or too independent is not a weakness. It's a boundary that filters out the men who are not ready. Because a man who is truly secure doesn't want to dominate, he wants to connect. He doesn't feel small in your presence, he feels challenged in the best way. He wants to be better, not because you told him to, but because your energy inspires it. And let's talk about that energy. It's not just about age or experience. It's about grace, the way you carry yourself, the way you speak less but mean more, the way you've been through storms and still know how to smile. That's not just attractive, it's magnetic. It's something men can't explain, but they feel it. And often they don't know how to handle it. Because when you stop performing for approval and simply be, that's when your real power shows. That's when the games end. That's when shallow love falls away and something real starts to grow. But real love takes courage. It takes a man who's willing to sit in discomfort. A man who won't run when things get real. A man who understands that strength in a woman isn't a threat. It's an invitation to rise. And not every man will accept that invitation. Some will walk away quietly. Some will try to come back later when they've grown. Some will never return at all. That's okay. You're not meant to be everyone's match. You're meant to be the right man's match. So if you've ever been told you're intimidating, too much, too smart, too deep, remember this. You are a mirror to men who haven't yet stepped into their full selves. You reflect back what they haven't faced. That's not your fault. That's your strength. And your role isn't to shrink to fit them. Your role is to stay lit up so the right ones can find you. You see, real connection doesn't come from needing each other. It comes from choosing each other. And older women understand that better than anyone, because by this point, you've learned what matters. You've loved people who didn't love you back. You've stayed too long. You've left too soon. You've forgiven, healed, and rebuilt. And all of that has taught you to trust your gut, not just your heart. That inner knowing is priceless. And it's also what creates the kind of love that lasts. The love that doesn't need grand gestures to feel real. The love that shows up in small, steady ways, in shared silence, in truth-telling, in not needing to be right, just wanting to be understood. That kind of love feels safe, but never boring, strong, but never forceful. And when you meet someone who's done their work, someone who doesn't flinch when you speak your truth, you'll feel it. You won't have to explain your worth. He'll see it. You won't have to test him. He'll prove himself through consistency, not promises. And suddenly, all those fears men had about older women will flip. The woman who once seemed like a threat becomes his peace. The one who could walk away becomes the one he hopes never leaves. The woman who didn't need him becomes the woman he's honored to support. Because he finally understands. It's not about being needed. It's about being chosen. And when a man is chosen by a woman who doesn't need him but still wants him, that's the highest compliment he'll ever receive. That's the kind of love that can't be forced. It has to be earned. So if you're reading this and thinking of all the times a man pulled back when he felt your power, don't let that plant doubt in you. Let it plant clarity. Let it remind you that what you bring is rare, and rare things are often misunderstood before they are cherished. You are not too late for love. You're right on time. You're not too set in your ways. You've just figured out what you won't tolerate, and that's healthy. You're not hard to approach. You just don't make space for nonsense anymore, and that's your power. The right man won't be put off by your boundaries. He'll respect them. The right man won't shrink in the face of your truth. He'll meet you there. And when he does, you won't feel like you have to explain, prove, or convince. You'll just be. And that will be enough. And if you're still waiting for that, keep waiting. Because settling isn't peace. It's a slow erosion of your spirit, and you've come too far to go backwards now. So keep being you, keep trusting your voice, keep setting the bar where it belongs, because your strength, your softness, your vision, and your depth are not too much for the right person. They are exactly what he's been hoping to find, and when he sees you, he won't try to dim your light. He'll protect it. He'll honor it. He'll match it. And together, you won't just have a relationship. You'll have a partnership. One built not on fear, but on truth. Not on need, but on choice. Not on control, but on connection. So yes, men may secretly fear strong older women, but the good ones, the grown ones, they admire them, they seek them, they fall for them hard, and once they experience that kind of woman, they don't want anything else. Because that woman doesn't just change how he loves, she changes who he becomes. Let's go even deeper. You see, when a woman becomes fully herself, when she stops asking for permission to take up space, she begins to shine in a different way. It's not the glow of youth, it's the glow of understanding, of experience, of knowing her value without needing to scream it. And that glow makes people pause, especially men. Because here's the truth most won't say out loud. Men aren't just drawn to beauty, they're drawn to energy. And when a woman's energy is settled, when she doesn't force or chase or pretend, it creates a different kind of pull. One that doesn't demand attention but commands it. One that doesn't beg to be loved but quietly says, I already love myself. Do you have the strength to join me? That kind of energy doesn't just attract men, it sorts them. The ones who aren't ready will find reasons to walk away. They'll say you're too independent, too intense, too opinionated. But what they're really saying is, I don't know how to meet you at your level. And that's not rejection. It's showing you who is capable of matching your pace and who still needs to do more inner work before they can love you the way you deserve. That's why your role isn't to water yourself down so others feel comfortable. It's to stay rooted in your truth so the right ones can find you. Because the man who's right for you won't try to control you. He won't compete with your confidence. He'll celebrate it. He won't be afraid that you've lived, that you've failed, that you've risen again. He'll respect you even more for it. And let's be honest, this kind of love takes patience. It doesn't show up in a neat package. It often comes after disappointments, after quiet nights where you wondered if you were asking for too much, after dates that left you emotionally tired. But the wait is never wasted. It's preparing you to recognize the real thing when it finally appears. Because the real thing won't leave you guessing. It won't make you feel small. It won't pull you into confusion or make you feel like you have to audition for affection. No. The real thing will feel calm. It will feel steady. It will feel like home. Here's another truth. Mature women don't want perfect. They want honest. They don't need someone with all the answers. They just want someone willing to sit in the questions with them. Someone who can handle silence without panic. Who can hold eye contact without flinching. Who can stay when things aren't easy. That's what older women crave. And that's why they're misunderstood. Because our culture often mistakes emotional depth for difficulty. It tells women to be easy, agreeable, low maintenance. But easy doesn't build deep love. And low maintenance often leads to low effort. Older women aren't complicated. They're just clear. Clear about what they want, and even clearer about what they will no longer tolerate. They're not cold. They've just learned to protect their warmth, to offer it to those who show they can respect it, hold it, and return it. So if you've ever been told you have a wall up, maybe it's not a wall at all. Maybe it's a boundary, a wise one, built not from fear, but from love for yourself. And yes, boundaries filter people out, but they also protect you from confusion. They save you time. They keep your heart aligned with your standards. And the man who's truly meant for you will not be repelled by your standards. He'll be inspired by them. Because real men don't want women who bend to be chosen. They want women who stand tall and choose back. So, if you're wondering why some men drift when they see your strength, let them drift. It's not your job to hold on to anyone who doesn't hold you with care. You are not here to prove your worth to people who don't value it. You are here to love and be loved, fully and freely.